broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the serving girl in question brought over the Jamashino. The little fidget picked up his cup and lifted with free hand and took a sip. The testimony you just heard was to test how credible the witness' memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail. Yes, oh yes. I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything. How are we going to handle this, Nick? We only have to do one thing. We just need to prove the old man's memory is shot. Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose, but that's what I do best. This one is important. The wireless? The decadent young rascal. In my day, it was one or the other. Read the paper or listen to the wireless. Oh boy. And using an earpiece. It's selfish, that's what it is. I was straining my ears, but I couldn't catch any of it. Was he that desperate to listen to the radio? What are you looking at me for that like that for? How dare you feel sorry for me? How? Free hand took a sip. Wait a minute. So he was holding newspaper in the right hand. I think I remember something like this, and this is contradictory to that statement. Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory. I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you, nothing. Hello there. Lives Joe Knuckles. I'll just say Knuckles. A challenge, huh? If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these pigeon seeds and sing the pigeon song. Care to tell us where you're going with this trite? According to the Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper with his right hand, while drinking the coffee with his free hand. That would make that his left. So, what's this challenge you have? Ha! What's this? Kindergarten? But I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup of coffee the victim used, correct? Yes, and on the rim, you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips. Yes, there's a stain left on it by the coffee. If you consider that what the stain is, you'll clearly see. That's gonna fix a thing, because I want to have this one. Where is it? Okay, its settings are not really doing anything. My stupid settings here, my chat settings aren't working. Try the contradiction with eyes closed. I mean, that would have to mean I had to memorize like the entire sequence, and don't have everything by memory. The victim was holding the cup with his right hand. How? But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is awaiting your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. Ah! Now we're just pointing out the contradiction here. Oh, Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. To think the witness had to go back and wait! If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. You still insist on your testimony. That young brat was holding the cup with his left hand. Oh god, it's this murder on my voice. Absolute murder. I think I will try to make his voice a little bit more friendly for my throat, because this is absolute murder. I also realized I kind of duplicated the you know, the puppet from the Justice for All. I think I duplicated the puppet there. I also think I changed it from the last stream, so yeah. Oh yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. And that dead young hobot and you spiky-haired yahoo, who are at fault. In what way is the USB broken fixed? Like, do you think that you could maybe recover it from like if you got it connected or something? Or is it the entire system? Oh, me? Thank you, old man. I've heard quite enough from you already. Maybe if you could go to your school's IT department. Your school does have an IT department, correct? They might know how to do it. Don't call me old man, old man. Been around 68 years. I have. You can't ignore me. Oh, and I got back to that stupid voice. Listen to what I have to say. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but sure. Why not hear a little bit more? Mr. Godot. Yeah, I hope things go work out well for you, Pix. But this is my 16th cup of coffee. So, this is your final stand. Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor. I'll just go for this, like, more, like, because like, the scrawny voice is a bit too much.
Well, I'm gonna go play some Fire Emblem.
Okay.
I need to fix that we are at the correct place.
Yes. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens on his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up a cup too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. Okay, so this is all wrong because, well, the earpiece, he has... Oh, that was that. We know the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. That was a small computer monitor often used by programmers. Which year is this supposed to be in? I mean, I don't have anything like that. I have a 4K monitor, but I don't have anything like that. Well, at work that is. I don't have a 4K at home. I don't need a 4K monitor at home. A monitor? You mean like a television screen? Yeah, it's like, wow. I guess it's a bit futurist. I mean, it's like 15 years in the future if you compare it to the time of which the games were actually made or something like that. The inside of the lens is a screen that displays the computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work. HDTV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw, I'm telling the truth. It's true, he doesn't seem to be lying. And those are the facts. I mean, good old black and white. But we do have the, you know, the Google Glasses things. So, left hand, but his left ear was this one. I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observations of the victim. What? You said he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD. No. Did I just? Yep, I did. I dropped a piece of candy into my sleeve. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was in his left ear, without a doubt. I could only see that side. I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting. I don't think so. What did you say? You're not unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo, but the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured. Traces of medications for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right. It was impossible for the victim that the victim was wearing his earpiece over his left ear, because he couldn't even hear in that ear. Is that true, Captain? It is. Pigeon! Pretty pigeon! Order! 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 This witness testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind, and he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when they know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot, a single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk. Captain, are you calling me a drip? This is the victim's coffee cup, in which potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows the victim picked it up with his right hand. I never back down, I know I'm right. The lad drank his Javashina with his left hand. Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly, the victim used both hands. He took a sip with a cup held in his right hand and switched to his left. That's what the old man saw. Impossible. The witness had already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of the coffee. Which hand the victim used to pick up the cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The facts still stand. With one hand or the other, Mr. L drank the poisoned coffee. Like this. Sadly, Mr. Godo, that doesn't wash. The point of his testimony was to establish whether the witness' memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless. That poor coffee. Such a waste of coffee. I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But, to be frank, his testimony is a farce. Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you old pompous fogey! I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo. You can't reach me from there. I am ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned. Wait! If you stop now, where does that leave me? Leave you, Mr. Kudo? Thanks to the blue-suited young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now. How is your bad memory my fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do. I kept my mouth shut until now, but there's something else the court should know. What? There's more? To be perfectly honest, it might not even be anything. But I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark. And me? Irish coffee. He's looking at me like I'm some evil shogun. Well, everyone, what do you say to one final showdown? The final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook. Sorry, Grams. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee. What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Javashino you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man. That's enough, witness. I believe it'll be quicker for the court just to hear your testimony. You bet! Much, much quicker. I can't believe this is happening. Haha. You better get ready, youngster. And I'm almost back to that other voice again. You know what? I'll just deal with it because I just default back to it. I just, you know, characters sometimes take their own voice, like it just runs with it. And it's kind of like if you're a writer and the characters just develop by themselves, and just like, have I just written all this? I didn't know the character could do this. They just take their own life, like they just lead their own life, you know. They take up a life of their own. That's what I'm trying to say. I get the picture. Just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? He's gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds. First of all, I would like to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not sure myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javashino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke, and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turns things upside down, huh? Actually, he does. Because we have this picture here. It is not knocked over. Oh, is that all? Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. Oh, I'm sorry. Oops. You're doubting me again? You're doubting the poor old defenseless man? I'm sorry. I need to get myself a microphone stand so I don't, like, everything I knock into my table, I don't, you know, get this fixed, like, this ripple thing. No, we're not doubting you, Mr. Kudo. Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah, so what, probably. That's all I can think of. And I have to cross-examine this guy. You're a bird brain. That's why I get that. That's all you can think of. Very well, Mr. Wright, your final cross-examination, please. But yeah, we don't really need to cross-examine anything because we have this picture. Oh, on the wrong thing. Oh, come on. Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene. So what? Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact. Huh? Lost your tongue, Granddad? I'm no granddad of yours, hopscotch. Ow! Enough! If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will be here all night. What is it now? I just remembered something. Yes, go on. The broken vase. Ha! It was on my own table. What? Well, you see, it startled me when that young lad collapsed. So I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. It was on my table. I mean, yeah, Felix is just tired of everything. It's just like, go on. The vase on your table. Yes, it was on my table. And that's how my groin got completely soaked. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You've certainly earned your kudos for today. I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been of any use at all? Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo. Wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. Oh, yes, I remember something else. Bailiff, escort a witness out of the courtroom. Wait, listen to me. Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked, and I'm still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are two disparities in the testimony we have heard thus far. The mark on the coffee cup that the victim supposedly drank with his left hand, and the earpiece which was inserted into his left ear, out of which he couldn't hear. Wow, Nick, you did it! I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts. Yes, Your Honor. There's one more thing before I call today's session to an end. One more thing, Your Honor? The witness we just heard from. He is most insistent that his testimony should be of use, so he summarized it according to this statement. Okay. You may each have a copy of it if you wish. Whatever. The prosecution don't need props like that. Got us really mad, huh? Oh? How did you... Oh, okay. Fair. Yeah, I would be too. Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies. My own, yours, and Mr. Gordon's. Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry? This isn't a piece of testimony, more like a 5-year-old's apology. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies? That is all. This court is adjourned. Yep. So let's see if we can wrap up the investigation in 15 minutes. So, how do you think the trial went this morning? How do you think it went? It got a bit crazy there. I wonder if that killed our chances. Yeah, I guess it did get out of hand. Mr. Kudo's testimony did nothing to help us. Plus, now we don't even know the identity of the waitress who laced the coffee. All we know is what old Kudo, Mr. Kudo saw, the apron, the straps, and the ribbon. And that the victim was wearing an earpiece when his eardrum was ruptured. Talk about the terrifying case of contradictions. Time to play doctor and fire yourself a cures, huh? Yeah! We gotta find one for Maggie, or she's gonna have a terminal case of guilty. No, we'll go talk to her. So, let's go to criminal affairs first. See if Gumshoe is available. Looks like Gumshoe is not here. Never mind that. What's going on? It feels different in here somehow. You think? Yeah, everyone seems to be on edge. What are you doing? Call in the officers for the briefing, quick. Can you shut down the station server? Chief, quit playing on the internet. But my pen pan. Lead AZ and Princess. Chief? You're a creep. No. Save for later, I'm turning off now. No! Everyone's keeping busy in here, huh? Keeping busy? More like panicking if you ask me. Something's going on. Something big. Head against the wall. I guess Maggie's still in questioning. Oh, but I got questioning for her too. Maggie! Maggie! Keep it down, Maya. This is the playground, you know. Okay, well, get going to très bien then. Empty, as usual. Yeah, and it's lunchtime too. That's it! Come on, come on, come on! Hey, that sounds like... Just an 8. Call an 8, pal. Come on, I know you can. He's getting really worked up about something. No, that's the wrong number. Oh, looks like an 8 will only admit that to be $5 anyway. What a rip-off. What's the problem, Detective Gumshoe? Huh? Oh, it's you. I was just I was listening to the radio, pal. To the radio? Hey, Detective Gumshoe is having lunch here. He is, and he's having the twin tea set. What can I say? This is a nightmare. How am I supposed to look Maggie in the eye now, pal? You really drove her into a corner, you know. You always blow apart my testimony. Why of all days didn't you do it today? Sorry, there just weren't any holes in it for once. Yeah, what happened? Usually your testimonies are like Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese? Would he have preferred a crumbly like aged parmesan? Anyway, this case has already been ruled on. There shouldn't be any holes left to find. So, did Mag say anything to you? About me, I mean? Well, how did she put it again? Something like that. Sorry about that, I just need to keep drinking. Please, Detective Gumshoe, I didn't mean to. Why? Why is this happening? He's banging his head against the wall, Nick. Oh man, poor Gumshoe. So, did you like the twin tea set? I've never paid that much money for lunch before. I was so nervous, my hands were shaking. So, how did it taste? Well, for $20, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, really. It was... delicate? Delicate? You mean you like it? It didn't taste bad for you? What's the matter with him? Looks like he's thinking. That's it! I've been trying to think of the right word to describe the taste. I just realized it's bad. That's it. It tasted bad. It's just kind of hard to admit it to yourself when you paid $20 for it, you know. Maybe you should have found out about the price after you'd finished eating. Hey, Nick, maybe that's why Glenn came here. Maybe you heard about the super fierce twin tea set. By fierce, you mean fearsome. Speaking of Glenn, that reminds me, we still hardly know anything about the guy. Why don't we ask Detective Gumshoe what he knows, as he's here? I'm gonna ask about radio first. So, what were we all excited about earlier? Huh? That's right, you said you were listening to radio or something. Oh, that was nothing. I wasn't excited. Come on, Detective Gumshoe, you can tell little old me. What were you listening to? Nothing, really. It was just the daily exercise show.